There is an unspoken contract that
To
comes with being
dresses that
born
had
into the
fashion
British royal
critics
family.
raising their eyebrows,
You attend the events,
lies a
you
moment
smile for
that
the
stunned
cameras,
the public.
and above all else,
What was she
you dress
really
the part.
thinking?
Every
Turning
hemline is
scrutiny
measured,
into
every hat
style
is considered.
evolution.
Every
that made
fabric
people
choice
look
carries
twice
weight
at their
far beyond mere
televisions.
aesthetics.
And the
royal
soothing
wardrobe is not
pastels
simply about
that
looking
flowed
good.
through the chapel.
It is about
That's
representing
exactly
centuries
what
of
happened
tradition,
on October
dignity,
12, 2018.
and institutional expectations.
Millions around the world
For most
tuned
royals,
in
this
to
code
watch
is
the
followed
royal
so
celebration
naturally
unfold,
that their outfits barely
serving
register
as
beyond
maid
a
of
polite
honor for her
compliment or
younger
two.
sister.
But
Instead
then
of wearing a
there's
dress
Princess
that
Beatrice.
blended with the rest of the bridal
The
party,
elder daughter
it
of
was
Prince
bright,
Andrew and Sarah
vibrant,
Ferguson
and
has had one of the
impossible
most
to ignore.
fascinating,
But in
controversial,
royal
and
weddings,
genuinely
elegance
entertaining
isn't the
fashion
only rule
journeys
that
in modern
matters.
royal history.
Their dresses are
Unlike some
coordinated
members
so
of
the
family
entire
who
group
seem to
creates a
emerge from the
harmonious
womb
look
knowing
around the
exactly how to
bride.
dress for a
It stood
state
out like a
occasion.
bright splash
Beatrice
of color
spent
in the
years
official
navigating a very
photos.
public learning
And
curve,
according to many
and the world
fashion
watched
watchers,
every stumble with
completely
either
unexpected.
delight,
So the
confusion,
visual
or
focus
outright
stays on the
disbelief.
bride.
From
The
headpieces that broke
reactions
the internet to
began
protocol
pouring in.
violations at the
Or
most
if it had
solemn
simply
royal
gone
occasions
unnoticed
imaginable.
during the final
Her
fittings.
wardrobe history reads
Others
less like a
joked
style
that the
guide
electric blue
and
dress
more
looked
an
like a
adventure
fashion
story.
highlighter.
So let's
She
walk
didn't
through
try
the
to
most
hide in the
inappropriate,
background.
most talked about,
Instead,
and most
and
genuinely
that's what made
unforgettable
this moment
outfits
so
Princess
interesting.
Beatrice has ever worn.
While many
and
royal
explore
outfits
what they
aim for
reveal
safe
about the woman
elegance,
beneath the
and
fascinators.
sometimes choices that left
If you
royal
were alive
watchers
and connected to
scratching
the
their
internet
heads,
on April
that
29,
the entire internet
2011,
would explode
you
with
already know
jokes
exactly
and
where this is
protocol
going.
experts
The
clutching
wedding
their
of Prince
pearls,
William and Catherine
restrained
Middleton
black
was one of the
attire,
most watched
and
televised
carefully
events
measured
in living
decorum.
memory.
Princess
Billions of eyes were
Beatrice
fixed on
came in a
Westminster
black
Abbey,
coat dress that
and the
fit her
assembled
well,
royal
and
guests
a
were
calm
expected to
silhouette
provide a
that could have
dignified,
come right out of a
elegant
book
backdrop
on
to the
royal
occasion.
etiquette.
Most of them
Wearing a
delivered
facial
precisely
veil is a
that.
sign of
And then
respect for the
Princess
dead,
Beatrice walked in.
which showed that they understood
Her
the meaning
nude
behind it,
Valentino haute couture
saying
dress
it was emotional
actually
and
quite
personal.
lovely.
People
Refined,
started sharing
appropriate
memes
in
of the
color,
big headpiece.
and entirely fitting
Beatrice
for a royal
wasn't
wedding.
attempting to get
But
attention
perched
by
on her
acting
head
out.
was a Philip
Someone
Treacy
she had known
fascinator
and
that
respected all
immediately
her
stopped
life.
conversations
That
across
even
living
good
rooms
intentions
worldwide.
are looked at
The
closely
piece
in
featured
royal
sweeping
life.
sculptural loops that
The solemn
twisted and
air
curved in
demanded
ways that
prim,
defied easy
paired with
description.
a sleek
Within
black
hours of the
velvet
first photographs
fascinator.
appearing online,
Royal
the
fashion
nicknames had
rules are
already taken
rarely
hold.
written in stone,
The pretzel hat,
while the rest
the
of the
toilet
outfit
seat
adhered to the
fascinator,
strict mourning
the alien
code.
spacecraft.
Some users
A
joked that
Facebook
she
group
had decided to
dedicated
turn the
entirely to
funeral into a
mocking the
fashion
headpiece
runway,
reportedly
magnified
gathered
the
over
tiny detail that
130,000
sent
members
etiquette
within days,
enthusiasts into a
which is a
frenzy.
remarkable
That
achievement
simple,
for a hat.
almost invisible choice
To
became
be
the
fair to
story.
Beatrice,
Families
Philip Treacy
mourned.
is a genuinely
world
celebrated
mourned.
and award-winning
A
milliner
small comfort
whose
in a tense
avant-garde
and
work
emotional
is respected
situation.
in serious fashion circles.
The line between mourning
piece
and
was not
media
cheap,
spectacle is
accidental,
razor thin,
or careless,
and not just because
but
she
royal
arrived
events
on the
operate
arm of
under
a
different
dashing
rules than
companion.
fashion weeks
The
or
dress
art
featured a
galas
thigh-high
at a wedding
slit
of that
that
magnitude.
left little to the
Arguably
imagination,
the most scrutinized
paired with
public
black
occasion
cutout
of the decade.
stilettos that
The
could easily have
expectation is
doubled as a
harmony
daredevil
and
stunt.
deference to
Even
the couple at the
sleeveless
center.
dresses are
A
approached
headpiece
with
that immediately
caution.
redirected global
Royals
attention away from
traditionally
the
stick
bride
to
and groom,
neutral,
crossed an
understated
invisible
shades.
but very real
Guests
line.
and critics
Royal
alike were
fashion
instantly
commentators
divided.
noted at the time
The
that
thigh-high
accessories
slit
at such
was
events
especially
should
bold.
complement the occasion,
Memes
never compete
circulated
with it.
comparing the slit
Beatrice's
to everything
fascinator
from a
didn't just
spaceship
compete,
window,
it
that the
won.
combination of
And not in a
sleeveless
way anyone
structure,
intended.
sky-high slit, and
4
red
years
lips,
later,
a time when she was
Beatrice
exploring
arrived at a
how to balance
high-profile
individuality,
Alexander McQueen
the
gala
McQueen Gala
and
became a
delivered a look
landmark
that
in
had
this
royal
phase.
etiquette experts
The
quietly
internet
fanning
famous
themselves. The
fascinator
dress itself was
disaster.
a sleeveless black
Each
tuxedo-style
outfit
gown,
perfectly polished.
elegant in concept,
Every hat
genuinely
carefully
striking
chosen.
in execution.
Everything
But
might
the
have been
details
fine
were
if
where
it weren't
things
for the
became
headpiece.
complicated from a protocol
While some
standpoint.
joked it looked
The
like
gown
a
featured
toilet
a
seat.
thigh-high slit that was
Mocking the
bold
hat
by any
grew
standard,
to
let alone a
130,000
royal
members.
one,
A reminder
paired
that
with
even a
sculptural
single
black cutout
headpiece
stilettos
could
and,
steal the
perhaps most
spotlight at a
notably,
royal event,
a vivid slash of red
overshadowing the
lipstick.
careful
The
coordination of the
overall
other
effect
guests.
was unambiguously
Outlandish
glamorous
and
almost
shocking.
equally unambiguous
People
in its
didn't just
departure
notice
from
it,
royal norms.
they couldn't stop looking at it.
Royal fashion
even if
guidelines,
it meant
while
drawing
never formally
criticism.
published in a single rule
Each
book,
unusual
are
choice
nonetheless well
afterwards
understood
could be
by those
traced
who
back to
operate
this
within
moment,
the
a
institution.
way to assert her personality
Experts who have studied
within a
and
world
written about
full of
royal dress
rules and
codes for years
expectations.
have
May
consistently
19,
noted that royals tend
2018,
to avoid
the
sleeveless
wedding of
styles
Prince
at formal
Harry and
occasions,
Meghan Markle.
keep hemlines at
She
a
chose a
conservative
simple
length,
headband to
and
complement
favor
her
understated
turquoise
lip
Roxana
colors.
Viola dress,
Nudes,
and Beatrice's
soft pinks,
minimal
and
approach
peachy tones
immediately drew
that suggest
attention.
elegance without
This
drawing
wasn't
attention.
the first time she had
Red
pushed the
lipstick at a
boundaries of
formal royal
formality,
event sits
something
in a
generally
different
frowned
category
upon in
entirely.
royal fashion circles.
It commands attention.
These
It
two
makes a
events,
statement,
separated
and
by 7
combined with a
years,
thigh-high
royal
slit on a
etiquette
sleeveless
experts
gown,
have explained
the
why these
cumulative effect
choices
was,
matter.
by royal
Skipping a
standards,
hat or
essentially a
fascinator
full
might
declaration
seem
of
like a minor
independence.
detail, subtly rebelled
Social
against a
media
centuries-old
responded with its usual
expectation.
mixture of
Fashion
admiration and
commentators
pearl-clutching.
described her as
Some
seeing
observers
her
called it
choices
daring
as
and
confident
refreshing,
and
celebrating a
fashion-forward,
royal woman
which had already
who
made
clearly knew how to
headlines
dress
and
for
internet
herself,
memes
rather than for
without the need for
institutional
bright
approval.
colors or extreme
Others were less
accessories.
enthusiastic,
She seemed willing
and there
to
were whispered
experiment,
suggestions
even in
that the
highly
look did not go
scrutinized
unnoticed at the
settings.
palace.
Every
Whether those whispers
deviation
were accurate is
magnified.
impossible to verify.
Both the strapless
but the
dress and the
conversation they
headband
generated was
highlighted her
very
emergence
real.
at a glamorous
What the moment revealed, in
2017
retrospect,
V&A
was a
museum
young
party.
woman in the middle of
Its
figuring
sheer
out where her
panels
personal
revealed
style
more than
ended
most royal
and her royal
outfits ever do.
obligations began,
Adding
and
to the
occasionally
shock,
getting the
she
balance
skipped
slightly wrong in
stockings.
ways that were
The dress was
impossible to
structured
miss.
with intricate navy lace
April
over nude
17th,
fabric,
2021
but the
was a day of
semi-sheer
national
panels
mourning.
left little to the
Prince
imagination.
Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh,
And
was being laid
commentators
to rest at
debated
Windsor
whether it
Castle
was
following
edgy
his death
fashion.
at the age of 99.
Critics immediately
The
labeled
occasion
it
demanded the highest
inappropriate.
level of
The
ceremonial
transparency and bare
decorum. Every
legs
outfit worn
made
by
it a
every member
talking
of the
point
royal
for
family
weeks.
would be
It was
photographed,
precise,
analyzed,
intentional,
and remembered.
and
Beatrice
unapologetically
arrived in a
modern.
long black collared
Each
coat
daring
with a sleek
choice,
black velvet
including this
fascinator,
sheer lace
a look
moment.
that, from a
The look
distance,
also highlighted
seemed
the ongoing
entirely
tension
appropriate
between
for the
tradition
solemnity
and
of the
Beatrice
moment.
reminded everyone that
then the
royal
cameras
style
looked
is
down.
not only about deference,
She
came a
was wearing
defining
bare
moment in
legs,
Beatrice's
no
style
stockings,
journey.
no sheer
It marked a
tights.
clear pattern,
In the context of a state
self-assured
funeral,
looks she
this
would later
detail,
embrace.
which might pass
Borrowed
entirely
wedding
unremarked in any
ensemble
other
and
setting,
mini skirts.
became an immediate
She
talking
borrowed
point.
and subtly altered
Royal
a vintage
fashion
dress,
commentators were
even
quick
with
to explain why.
modifications,
The
raised
expectation
eyebrows.
that women wear
But the
hosiery at
alterations
formal
made
royal
it distinctly
occasions,
Beatrice's
and particularly
own.
at funerals,
This choice
is one of those
highlighted her
unwritten but
willingness to
firmly
respect
established
heritage.
conventions that
She could
those
honor
within royal
tradition
circles
without being a
understand
rigid rule
implicitly.
follower.
It
The wedding
signals a
gown
level of
wasn't her
formality
only
and care
daring
that
fashion
aligns with the
choice
gravity
during
of
this
the event.
period. She
Going
attended an
bare-legged at a
all-black
private summer
gala
garden party
outside
is
of
one
any
thing.
official
Doing
mourning
so at a
period.
nationally televised
Critics
royal
didn't
funeral
hold
is
back,
quite another.
describing it as
The
taken
response
together.
online was swift
These
and
outfits told a
surprisingly
story
heated,
of transition,
given how small the actual
or
detail
wearing
was.
black
Memes
outside mourning.
circulated.
While the
Twitter
carefully
threads
altered
multiplied.
wedding dress of
Fashion critics weighed in
2020,
with varying degrees
social
of
media
generosity.
and fashion
The
blogs
broader outfit
reacted
was
with
largely praised for
fascination.
hitting the right notes.
The mini
The black coat
skirts
was
and
appropriately
all-black
sober.
gala
The
outfits were
fascinator suitably
polarizing.
restrained. But the
She
missing
was a
hosiery
woman
created
defining
a visual
her own
inconsistency
rules.
that, in the
She was quietly
hyper-scrutinized environment
challenging
of a royal funeral,
expectations.
became
They were
the entire
statements,
story.
signaling the
It was a
confident
reminder that in
reinvention of a
royal life,
royal learning.
no detail
The
is too
princess
small
who
to escape
previously
notice,
sparked
and
viral
no
fashion
occasion is
disputes
too serious
and
to be
daring
derailed by a
headbands
single
during the
wardrobe
rebellion
decision.
era, making it even harder
March
for a young
2022,
queen to discover
a
her
Thanksgiving
voice.
service was held
When
at
millions of
Westminster
people
Abbey
picked apart
to honor the
every
memory of Prince
choice.
Philip,
The
offering a
eye-catching
more
mistakes
formal
were
ceremonial
gone,
complement to
and
the
in their
private
stead
funeral
were
held the previous
stylish,
year.
there were soft
Once
colors,
again,
clean
guests were
lines,
expected to
and
appear in
wonderfully
restrained,
fitted
protocol-appropriate
silhouettes.
mourning
People say that
attire.
her ability
And
to
once
mix
again,
tradition with
Beatrice's
her own
outfit
style
became a
is
subject
a
of
guide for
widespread
future
discussion.
generations.
Though this time,
She showed
the
that a
controversy
princess
was
can go
rooted
from
not in a
being a
missing
problematic
garment,
fashion
but in a very
mistake.
present one.
Before 2020,
She arrived
social
in a black
media
coat
made her
dress,
decisions seem
accompanied
even
by a
more
large black
important.
headband,
Her clothes
adorned
became
with
a way to
dramatic
express
veil.
herself
The
confidently
instinct behind the
instead
choice
of
was
provoking.
clearly sincere.
It's a lesson
black
in
veil
how to be
is a
strong,
deeply
grow,
traditional symbol
and
of
change.
mourning and respect.
Princess
And it is
Beatrice's
difficult to question
transformation
the
from
emotional
shocking
genuineness
outfits
of wanting
to an
to honor a
admired
grandfather
love
figure
seeing her
in
fashion
such a
evolution.
personal way.
Like,
But royal protocol
subscribe.
draws a
She
firm
was so
distinction
roundly
between
mocked, her and
different
her sister,
categories
for
of
being the
mourning
worst dressed
occasions.
royal. So this is a
According
step
to
up. And
long-standing
she
royal
she got a new
tradition,
stylist 6 years ago.
black facial
electric
veils are
blue
specifically
bridesmaid
associated with
rebellion.
funerals held to honor
during
deceased
the wedding
monarchs,
of Princess
a
Eugenie
sovereign level
and Jack
observance that
Brooksbank,
carries its own
until
distinct
one color
ceremonial
suddenly
weight.
stood out in the
Wearing one at a
crowd,
Thanksgiving service,
paired with a matching
however heartfelt
headband.
the motivation,
The shade
falls outside
complemented
those
Beatrice's
established
complexion.
parameters.
And this is where things
Royal
became
analysts noted
complicated.
the discrepancy
Didn't
promptly.
blend into
The
Eugenie's
tabloid
soft
coverage
ivory
was a study
wedding
in
aesthetic at all.
contradictions,
Fashion
simultaneously
commentator
sympathetic to the
Victoria
emotional
Arbiter
impulse
later
and
explained the
clear-eyed
tradition
about the
clearly.
protocol breach.
The blue dress
Online,
almost glowed
the
under the
responses
the chapel
ranged from
lights.
genuine
And
appreciation for
notice
the
they
gesture
did.
to more satirical
Social
takes,
media lit up
comparing
with
the
debates.
dramatic headpiece to
Yet
Gothic
through
fashion
all the
shows
chatter and commentary,
avant-garde runway
one thing remained
presentations.
clear.
What made the moment
And greeting
genuinely
guests
interesting,
like
though,
any
was
proud
what it
maid of
revealed
honor
about
would.
the impossible position
She wasn't
royal
always
women
interested in
sometimes find
blending into
themselves in.
royal expectations.
Beatrice was grieving.
A solemn
She wanted to
gathering to
express
honor
that
the late
grief
Duke
visibly
that
and
quietly
meaningfully,
but very
reached for a
visibly
symbol that
broke
felt
the
right
rules.
to her personally,
The black
and in
veil
doing so,
misstep.
she inadvertently
Because
bumped up
not
against
long
a
after this
centuries-old
wedding,
institutional
black facial
framework
coverings
that
are
governs
used for
even the
funerals
language of mourning
honoring a
dress.
king or queen. The
At a
response
glamorous
was
party
quick
held at the
and electric,
Victoria and Albert Museum
which
in
showed how
2017,
Beatrice had broken the tacit
Beatrice
rules.
appeared on the red carpet
People on
in a
social
navy-lace
media
dress that
reacted in the
immediately
same
divided
way,
opinion.
that she looked
The
like
gown
she was preparing to
undeniably
feature in a
striking.
Gothic
Intricate
catwalk
lacework
show.
over nude
This
fabric,
costume said a
delicate
lot
embroidery,
about the impossible
and a silhouette
balance
that was
royal women
modern and
have,
confident,
went against
but the
regulations
semi-sheer
about how
panels,
royals
which
should
created a
dress.
teasing suggestion of
Bare legs
transparency,
at a funeral.
placed it firmly
But then
outside
your
the
eyes
conventional
drifted
boundaries
downward,
of royal
and
modesty
there it was.
expectations. And
Windsor
once again,
Castle
she
was
skipped the
cloaked
stockings.
in black. Victoria
The
Arbiter,
combination of the
a
sheer
leading
lace and
commentator
bare
on
legs
royal
produced
style,
headlines that
a
ranged
subtle
from
rebellion at the
enthusiastic
most highly
to genuinely
scrutinized
appalled,
royal moment.
depending on which publication
Even
you were
serious
reading.
fashion critics
Some
couldn't help
fashion
but
writers
weigh in,
celebrated the gown
while
as
the royal
evidence
did
that
follow the
Beatrice was
traditional
developing a
protocol for
genuinely
funerals by
distinctive
wearing
and
all black.
sophisticated
It was
aesthetic,
about a single,
one that could hold its
unexpected
own against any
deviation from a
celebrity on the same
steadfast
red
rule.
carpet.
Was
Others were less
navigating a moment
charitable,
of deep,
with
personal,
tabloids
and
deploying
public
words
sorrow.
like monstrosity
Thigh-high
and
tucks,
phrases about
dress,
modesty
and bold
violations
lip.
that
But that's
suggested
exactly
the gown
what
had
made it
crossed
so
the line that
deliciously
polite royal society
eyebrow-raising.
was not prepared to
Now,
overlook quietly.
let's talk rules.
What is
They don't
interesting
usually
about this
wear
particular
sleeveless
moment
dresses,
in retrospect
not too short
is how
in the
intentional
hemline.
it clearly was.
Beatrice's
This was
daring
not an
cut
accidental
was more than a
oversight
style choice.
or a last-minute
It was a
decision
statement.
made under
This
time
was
pressure.
part of her
The dress was
pre-marriage
carefully
experimentation
chosen,
phase.
professionally
Fans
styled,
applauded her
and worn
confidence,
with evident
while
confidence.
traditionalists
Beatrice
shook
was not
their
stumbling
heads.
into controversy.
The world
She
watched
was, it
as
seems,
royals filed into
deliberately testing
Westminster
what the
Abbey.
boundaries of her
The
public fashion
fascinator
identity
became an
could
instant
accommodate.
sensation.
That experimentation
And fashion
would later
blogs
give way to
debated whether
something
it
more
was
subtle
daring
and
or
assured.
just completely
But in
out of place.
2017,
Its
she was
loops,
still very
twists,
much in the process
and
of working
exaggerated
it out.
shape drew all eyes,
When
proving
Princess
that one
Beatrice
bold
married
choice
Edoardo
could
Mapelli
dominate
Mozzi
conversation.
in a small private
It marked an
ceremony in
important
July
point in
2020,
Beatrice's style
a
journey.
gathering
The
significantly
beginning of a
scaled back
fashion
due to the
evolution
global
where she
pandemic.
learned to express
The world
herself,
expected
even
a
though the hat
traditional
drew
royal
mockery
bridal
and
moment.
memes.
What they
It was
got
also a
was
signal of
something rather more
independence.
unusual.
While learning
Rather
how
than
to navigate
commissioning a
public
bespoke wedding
attention,
gown from
it
a
was elegant
contemporary
on its
designer,
own,
as
but skipping the
royal
hat
brides are
entirely
conventionally
broke
expected to
royal
do.
tradition.
Beatrice
Like her
chose to wear
infamous
a
blue
vintage
bridesmaid
from
dress,
Queen Elizabeth's
she had
personal
worn a
wardrobe,
strapless dress that
modified
showed
and
cleavage
updated for the
because
occasion
they
by the
reveal
royal
more
dressmaker.
skin than traditional
The gesture was
expectations
widely
allow,
interpreted as
standing
deeply
out for the
touching,
wrong
an
reasons.
act of connection with her grandmother,
Particularly given
a
the
nod to
memory of
royal
her
heritage,
or another
and
royal
a quietly
misstep.
personal statement
Beatrice's
made at an
relationship
already
with
intimate
tradition
occasion.
were not
And on
just
those
fashion
terms,
statements.
It genuinely
They were signals
succeeded.
of independence.
The altered gown was beautiful.
She was
The
learning to
tiara
balance
borrowed from the Queen's
individuality
collection
with protocol
added a fairy tale
while still
element,
honoring
and
the
the photographs
occasion
from the
in her
ceremony
own
were
way.
universally warmly
In a
received.
nude navy lace
But from a
dress
strict
that
protocol
instantly
perspective,
divided
the
opinions
choice still
and
raised
fashion
eyebrows
critics
in
alike.
certain quarters.
The
Royal
combination
brides
of
are
see-through
generally
lace
expected
and
to
bare
wear newly
legs made it
commissioned
a
designs,
jaw-dropping moment,
partly as a matter
and
of
tabloids
tradition,
didn't hold back,
partly because
calling
the
the
occasion
outfit
of a royal
a
wedding
monstrosity.
has historically served
In
as a
royal
platform
circles,
for British
this
fashion
level
and
of skin
craftsmanship.
exposure was rare.
Wearing a repurposed
Unlike
existing
traditional
garment,
royal dresses,
however elegant,
which are designed to be
represented a
elegant,
departure from
while
that
fashion
expectation.
pages compared it to the kind of
In many
bold
ways,
risk usually
this moment
reserved for
encapsulated the
without
most
the
mature
constraints of
version of what
imminent
Beatrice's
marriage or
fashion rule
future
breaking had always
protocol-heavy
been about.
events. Who
It
could
wasn't
balance
loud.
rebellion with
It wasn't seeking
sophistication.
attention. It
Is
was a
usually
quiet,
scrutinized
personal
for protocol
decision made on her
adherence,
own terms,
daring viewers
respectful
to
of the
reconsider
institution,
what a
while
princess
still
could wear,
entirely her own.
and to
The
redefine
controversy
royal
it
fashion
generated
boundaries.
was gentler than anything from her
This
earlier years,
see-through
and
ensemble
the
wasn't just
admiration
a
it
dress.
attracted
It was another
considerably
chance to
warmer.
bend royal rules. The
Stepping
familiar
back and looking
shape
at
of
the
the
full
Queen's
sweep
gown
of
was
Beatrice's
instantly
fashion history,
recognizable.
what emerges
It wasn't loud,
is not a story
it wasn't
of
dramatic
carelessness
like
or
a neon
disrespect,
moving from the
but something
single-year
considerably more
experimental.
interesting.
She had been
Each
photographed at fashion
controversial
events
outfit
in
represents a
miniskirts,
moment
to the
in an
long,
ongoing
demure dresses
negotiation between a
expected.
woman's
She
genuine
was
sense of
learning how to
self
balance
and the
individuality.
extraordinary
It was
institutional weight
evolution
of the
in
family
real
she was
time.
born into.
And for the
pretzel
most part,
fascinator
that's
was a
what
young
they got.
woman exploring
Beatrice
the outer
sometimes
edges of
leaned
acceptable
toward bold
self-expression
choices
at perhaps the
because
worst
it
possible
quietly
moment.
hinted at something
The
about
thigh-high
Beatrice's
slit
style:
and red lips
black for
were a
mourning,
declaration of
a
personal
veil
style
for
in a world
solemnity,
that preferred its
not for
princesses
memorial
understated,
services
the bare
or
legs and the
Thanksgiving
veil were,
ceremonies.
in different ways,
Black veils
expressions
are
of genuine
exclusively
human
worn
feeling,
at funerals
grief,
to honor a dead king
respect,
or queen,
a desire to be
saying
present
it was
as a
an
real person
over-the-top
rather than
attempt
a
at drama,
protocol-compliant
making
mannequin
funny
that
similarities
bumped
between
against
it
rules
and
older than
spaceships.
anyone alive
beyond
today.
the jokes and criticism.
What makes Beatrice's
She was showing her
story genuinely
sadness in
compelling
public
is the
by
arc.
wearing a black
By the
veil,
early
causing a
2020s,
conflict
the
between
fashion
personal
conversation
expression.
around her had
April
shifted completely.
17th,
The experimental
2021.
years had given way to
Every
a polished,
inch of
confident,
fabric,
and
every layer,
consistently praised
despite
aesthetic.
the criticism,
She had not
the
abandoned
nude
her
navy lace
personality in the
dress
process. If
she
anything,
challenged
her
centuries
later
of
looks felt
conservative
more
expectation.
authentically her
Her
than
choices
anything
showed
from the
confidence
Fascinator
and
era,
determination.
precisely because they came
Social
from a place
media
of self-knowledge
exploded
rather
with
than
memes.
self-discovery.
The gown
She had
shimmered
learned
with
through
delicate
very public
embroidery
trial
and lace
and very
detailing,
public error
or an etiquette
how to be
nightmare.
herself within the frame that
The dress
royal
was
life
not loud in
provides.
color like some of her previous
And perhaps
gowns,
that is the most honest
but its
thing her wardrobe has
transparency
ever
made it
told us.
impossible to ignore.